Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining us for another beautifully blessed, peaceful, prosperous, productive, and phenomenally powerful day. We are your hosts, Tori the Barber, the one and only, the only one under the sun, and the man with the plan, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Free Will Code.
Yes, sir. What's happening? Free Will Code in the building. Thank you, and welcome to another edition of the Free Will Podcast, where we create a community that normalizes growth. For people like you and me, so we could be the best versions of ourselves. What's happening, Toy? Good day, my boy.
What's happening, man? We back in the building for another one. Yo, this episode 21, man. We making it happen week after week. This 21 straight weeks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do the math, but we in the building today again for another one, man. I'm feeling amazing. How you feeling, Mr. Cole?
Man, I'm feeling awesome, man. We in the building.
Amazing and awesome.
Ready to shine, yeah.
Yeah, dig, man. I'm feeling good, dog. It's another beautiful, bright day, and we back in the building, man. And I'm excited to get into this conversation today, man, that we gonna have, man. But let the people know what you grateful for, Cole. What's going on with you?
Yeah, man. Number one, hands down, gotta put God first.
Absolutely.
And I spent a good considerable amount of time with God yesterday. Just keeping him at the forefront. Like some undivided attention, like my lady will want. You know what I'm saying? And so I did that, and it was new, it was different. Can't say that I had a amazing response. You know what I'm saying? It just, I did it, and it was definitely peaceful. And so, man, I'm gonna continue to do that so I can strengthen my relationship with him, right?
Yes.
Number two, I put my lady up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's the one and only. I love her. I'll be seeing her in December. Big ups to my moms, my pops. I'm grateful for them. Sound like I'm doing a shout out, huh?
Yeah, that was just it. Recognition, baby.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Recognition.
And I'm also grateful for waking up this morning and making it here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for going to sleep last night. Well, I prayed before I went to sleep last night. Stop playing. Yeah, man, I'm grateful. What about you, man? What you grateful for today?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you for passing the mic to the right. Man, I am thankful for God. Got to put God first. All praises to the Most High. Secondly, I am most thankful for my lady. And I'm thankful for her presence, the value that she adds to my life. And guess what? I'm thankful for the same thing God do. All the abundance, that the value and all of that. I feel like I be like padding, you know what I'm saying, her shout out up. And then God, I just be like, I'm just thankful for God, put God first, all praises, and then I go on to the next thing. But I'm thankful, man. I'm just grateful that he placed her in my life. You know what I'm saying? It would be no her without him. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for my wonderful children, Kaisley and Nevaeh. I'm thankful for my parents, two living parents, man. Everybody can't say that. You know what I'm saying? I even shot my grandma out, you know what I'm saying? She in recovery. She had something that she went through about a month or so ago. So she in recovery from that. So shout out to her. She in the building. She's still alive and in proud. And then I have my wonderful clients, you know what I'm saying? Because like I say all the time, I come on here as Tori the Barber. So, you know what I'm saying? They're a huge part of my support system. So it's only right that I shout y'all out. And if y'all watching this and y'all hear this shout out, I need to hear some in them comments or read some in them comments, you know what I'm saying? Send a love back. Oh, man, but I'm thankful for that. And I'm just thankful for everything and everybody who was in their place at the right time today. Hell, even yesterday, you know what I'm saying, for us to be where we at today. And I'm just thankful for another beautiful day and another chance and a choice, another opportunity to do what I love to do. And that's be right here in front of you. Yes, sir. And that's that, Mr. Cole. That's that.
But before we move any further,
we
must bow our heads. Give a moment of silence.
Yes,
for the
Lord.
brand new subscribers and the ones who got post notifications. Yes, Lord.
Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Let me ask you a question.
Welcome.
What is the symbolism or the significance of bowing one's head? Do you know?
There's an actual like significance thing, or
I was asking you.
asking me what
There
I?
is,
Oh,
and not necessarily in
I
our.
think
Well, I bow our heads. Well, yeah, I
yeah.
guess it's a
I think
I
it's
think in our culture or like the
yeah.
Christian thing, like they bow our heads and they pray and stuff like that. Now in a Buddha community, not community, but what I just said, culture, Buddhist culture. When they meet somebody, you know what I'm saying? You know how like they'll bow like that? They are pretty much taking the
It's a form of
opportunity.
respect.
Yeah, and not just respect, but to acknowledge the God in that person, the Buddha in that person. So that's kind of like, how they do it or whatever the case is. But
Yeah,
Chado,
yeah. I was. If you had to ask me, and I ain't had no prior whatever, you'd just be respecting, focus. Like focus on something. And I like the acknowledgement thing. Let's say acknowledging whatever it is that saying mostly God, but like in this instance where we're asking people to subscribe, it's just like, hey, let's focus on building it kind of thing. So yeah, man. So definitely don't hit that subscribe button without hitting the like button right next to it. You dig?
Now look, if you hit the subscribe button last week, don't hit it again this week.
Right.
But you can hit the like.
Yeah, for sure.
That's beautiful, man.
So without further ado,
you heard?
Let's drop that.
Word on the street. Word on the street. Word on the street.
AI detected her early breast cancer after her annual test came back as normal. I feel so lucky, she says. Artificial intelligence successfully detected a woman's breast cancer after a routine scan evaluated by humans came back as normal. Sheila Tooth was given the all clear after her most recent mammogram was examined by two experienced radiologists who determined that there were no signs of cancer. However, University Hospitals, Sussex, hope I say that right, where she had her appointment, was participating in research to see if AI could improve early detection. The technology spotted cancerous cells which were undetectable by the human eye, which allowed Sheila, who had been diagnosed with early breast cancer 15 years ago, to get minimal treatment as early as possible. And she just goes on to say how extraordinary and amazed that she is. And she's now a retired nurse from West Sussex, right? Man, I think that is I chose that, man, because it kind of resonated with me. Like a lot of things, just in this, it could be a little weird, but a lot of things, we kind of take into our own hands, or we feel like, hey, I've been doing this for a long time. Like I know everything there is to know about it, right? It never ever hurts to up your game or get another set of eyes or another analysis or another research, another pair of hands. You know what I'm saying? Like it never, it'll never hurt, right? And you would rather do it and not miss anything rather than not doing it and maybe miss just even a little bit, right? That can put you over that edge. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
I think that is always worth taking a second look at whatever it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I just, as you were speaking, I was thinking like, you going over the protocol, and if it's a routine thing that you do, naturally you're gonna wanna, even without realizing, you're gonna wanna, you're gonna have some assumptions there. You kind of gonna feel like you know what to expect. You might want to cut a little corner. You might be in a rush. But just having that second opinion, that second eye to look over it, it might catch something you don't. So I think that's always awesome. I think it's always necessary.
And listen, if you still against AI, I'm just gonna let you know that you're missing out on something. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very essential. We all need companionship. We need assistance. We need help because we're only human. We can't be multiple places at once, and we can't think multiple things at one time. So,
yes,
if you can't hire a person, hire AI for free. Come on, man. It's there. It's a tool. It's there to use it.
That is a definite truth. Listen, AI. Since we on the topic, it ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about today. I think that AI in itself is a great thing. I do have a bit of uncomfortability with it, you know, because I just, you know, we see the things that we see on, like, you know, with the AI robots at the football games and in public, and they got like, but they like got human, you know, faces. They look like they're human, but they different things, whatever that stuff is about. You know, the iRobot movie, now Elon Musk got the Tesla bots, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't know, man, you know, it's just, maybe that's just some fear-based stuff that just got, you know, kind of like downloaded. But I think AI in itself have the potential to be great, and it is great as is, and it's getting better.
Already.
It is. It's really, it's dope. But I just hope that humanity, I just don't know what be making scientists and people just want to mess with stuff. Like, it just be weird, you know what I'm saying? It's like you flirting with them lines of danger, and damn, their robots go to getting brains of their own, feeling emotions. I actually heard, to put a cap on it, a voice. It was like an AI conversation between a human and the AI and a human, and it was the AI was speaking back, and it had what would you call it, like the voice inflections. It had a sense of humor, you know. It was like it showed excitement and different things like that, and they definitely getting advanced. That was one of the things that they say that AI wouldn't be able to do is feel, right? It wouldn't be able to have emotions and different things like that, but I guess if you put enough intelligence in it, they know when to do it and when not to do it. They can tell by how the way you talking, what kind of energy to give. So,
yeah. Hopefully they got something in it to where it needs to, because software is very complex to where software will obey itself. You know what I'm saying? If you put code like that, you put something there and you put a electronic door in front of it. And the door can only open if it's authorized by someone else, right? So hopefully they have those things in place, how it's supposed to be, right? You know, and not, because I be thinking about that too, man. And I used to think about the job thing too, you know. But to be honest, somebody was talking to me. They was like, bro, that been happening. You know, like they had machines inside of warehouses and people lost jobs a long time ago. You know, and they had to do something then. So, you know, it's just, you know, that it continues to be the survival of the fittest, you know. And if you make a way for you, then that way, you know, God, you know, if you allow whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, we in a building too. What we talking about today?
Today we having a discussion, and we are talking about the everyday life that we live, and I would call it sometimes the facade that we put on or that we carry, and how this facade of strength and, you know, always being good and, you know, always having a great day, you know, when you're really not having a great day. Today we talking about removing the armor, and this topic was inspired by, you know, a conversation me and Cole was having, and essentially, you know, being in a space where, you know, we do things like Free Will Podcast. You know, we are on a hunt and on a search to find ways to become the best version of ourselves. We, you know, he's in the customer service industry. I'm in the customer service industry, more or less, and, you know, we just, you know, whether it's from parenting to being a friend to being a son, whatever it is, we charter the waters of, you know, taking accountability, taking responsibility. You know, we know the concepts and the fundamentals of, you know, like you're not gonna get nothing out of complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta get it done regardless, you know. But and in a sense, sometimes we have a tendency to dehumanize ourselves, and kind of like set ourselves up for the okie doke in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So that's essentially what we're talking about today. You want to open that thing up, Cole? To get that ball rolling?
So, and what we mean by armor is, it's like symbolizes like a shield, like when I have the armor on, like I'm strong, I'm powerful, and whatever comes at me, I'm able to protect myself from it, right?
Yes.
And at the end of the day, we are all human, and that there is no psychological armor, if that makes sense, that's good enough to protect us from everything and everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there has to be a process. There has to be a process where we remember that we're human, and we remember to take the arm off and tend to our wounds, or remember, it's I get deep into that, but we to go deep into what you were saying, like what we do is what I like to think what we do is we try to find solutions, and what we have going on, and most people around us or where we come from, right? Sure. It just ain't happen like that. So the fact that we think about solutions all the time, we're looked at in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, he got it. He gonna think of it. He gonna make it happen, right? Which is not always true. And we realize that at some point we start to cause more harm than good when we don't kind of resonate in the simple fact that sometimes we also affected or become down or need help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's ask ourselves a question. Like I want to ask you a question. Like, have you ever felt the need to put on a strong, talk about a time we had to put it on, right? When you didn't even feel strong, and what it did for you at the moment. You know what I mean? And like, also, if you can remember, like, what did it cost you to put that on in that moment when you didn't really have it?
Man, I want to say, I'm gonna say sometimes I think if I could just, just kind of open up a little bit, and I say open up, it's not like it's a lot going on.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, that's why we here.
Let's say, like, for example, like in relationships, right? Relationships can be very challenging. And to be honest, relationships get the best out of you and they get the worst out of you. Like this past week, me and my lady was having a conversation. And we was having a conversation and I was in my feelings, so to say, right? It's kind of like a part of what we're talking about today. And I just was communicating at a level that wasn't necessarily called for, you know what I'm saying, for the moment. But in previous times we communicated and stuff like that. It takes a lot of, self-control. It takes a lot of like mental capacity, to kind of like sit there and listen. Like, we had a whole thing about effective communication. Let me tell y'all something. If you are not like skilled and trained and just like been through the gauntlet of like what it is to really like, reserve yourself and really communicate effectively, it is challenging in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And that goes with not cutting a person off, fully letting them, empathizing with them or sympathizing with them, whatever one is necessary, and then just kind of put yourself on the back burner even when they're wrong, and that takes a lot of like self-control and self-restraint to do that. So I've had conversations where we was speaking, she may have felt some kind of way and felt justified, and I felt some type of way and felt justified. You know what I'm saying? And really, it just took a lot out of me to just sit there, be the man, right? Like how we supposed to do, and take it and listen and hear what needed to be heard, and then still navigate and orchestrate that. But what it did to me in that moment was, and it's really like a self-inflicted thing. It's like, having to sit back and just always, sometimes, like, let's say being in this space, and we talking about effective communication, how to do it, and we are the Free Will Podcast, and all of this stuff that we do. You're expected to operate by the book. You know what I'm saying? And for me, sometimes operating by the book, it don't do it for me, because I feel something too sometimes, right? And I don't always express it, but in those moments, what it take from me, I think just the self-control that it takes to properly navigate a situation, they're kind of like feeling like it's eating away at me internally. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to pop off. I want to get out what I've been through. I want to tell you how you messed up. I want to tell you, you know what I'm saying, you could have did that better. I want to tell you, like, this could have been avoided way the other day. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't even really about that at that point in time. So it sometimes it could be a real strain, bro. What about you?
Yeah.
Unless you want to comment on that, any questions or anything.
I'm gonna do both, man. Like, we have a mental bandwidth. Like, we got that, right? Like, we're able to stretch it, and there's a points where we're not able to stretch it. So, like, what was the last thing you said again? So I don't lose my point. The last thing.
The last thing I was talking about was just being. Well, I was talking about, like, at times when you have to, like, practice that self-restraint and self-control, it's just kind of like, how I want to be like, well, this could have been avoided a long time ago. Where you was wrong, where you was messed up at it, instead of taking the back seat and letting you do what you got to do. It's just like,
Right. Oh, that's what okay, I got it now. Y'all know my brain on another level. So, we think that, because you said earlier, you was like, by the book, right? Mm-hmm. And we thought that by the book was all positive, all, all going to whatever the solution is, right? Mm-hmm. But if we're thinking about God's way, like, sometimes releasing, like, the thing that we have to do, sometimes the releasing is being a bit like there's a like a killer spirit mentality that God also has. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta, like, we gotta right quick, even if it's to ourselves or around our environment. Yeah. And then we call ourselves holding it together, you know what I'm saying? But when we're really letting it break loose by not, like sometimes holding it together is grabbing hold of it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, hey, I need to, like, this ain't going right. You know what I'm saying? And this was bad. This here was horrible. However, just because this action was horrible don't mean I'm horrible or you horrible. You know what I'm saying? And so to talk about my experience, it's like I do it. I'm so unrealistic with it too. Like I'm just, at some point, and I could talk about when I first started, when I came across, like, the solution based problem solving, right? I'm like, hey, somebody died. Okay, it's cool. It's gonna be all right. Listen, go ahead on and do this and do that, and like, I would turn people off because they're like, bro, that's cool and everything, but I'm like, I'm messed up right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm grieving. I need to go and sit down, right? So, in with that, I also realized that I wasn't even acknowledging the stuff that I was going through. Like, I'm trying to skirt right past it. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm skirting right past it, and I'm dehumanizing myself. And at that time, it was costing me self-love. That's what it was costing me. Like, I wasn't loving myself because I'm like, yo, bro, you don't, like, you tripping, just go ahead and move on. And I'm feeling lost, and I'm feeling empty, and I'm feeling like, and then while I'm doing it too, like, nobody else doing it for me, and so I'm missing something, and so I'm starting to look for it in other people, right? Which was impacting my relationships, which is our next thing, right? Like, like, because, like, in anything I'm not doing for me, I'm not doing for anybody else. Like, my girl, like, she'll be talking to me, and my mama, like, they talking to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but okay, what we gonna do next?
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, you're not understanding where I'm coming from. And in my mind, I'm like, I am understanding what we gonna do next. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? And you gotta take, in this instance, the taking the armor off is the sitting there and looking at all of my bruises and tending to them and actually studying my bruises and seeing how badly I was affected and what part of my arm is it, like, and how I'm gonna have to use my arm a little differently until it heals. Like, that's a thing. Like, after you go through something, you need to analyze what happened to you, and like way before we get to the solution, right? Like, I gotta sit there and see what happened, how it happened, and even in the solution is preventing it from happening the next time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
What you think about that?
I think that kind of go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That sitting there and evaluating yourself and your own bruises, making that time for healing and to recognize what you've been through, what the experience was to you, how life defining or altering it was for you. And not having that for yourself is why you don't have it for nobody else. So like when your lady come to you, your mama come to you, and you're like, or somebody like, yo, such and such passed away, my woo woo, and then it's just like, and you be like kind of dry about it,
Yeah.
You dry with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even, when something happen with you don't even sit in it and evaluate it. So when somebody else come to you with something, you ain't sitting there with them. You know what I'm saying? You're not validating them. It's like, okay, yeah, that happened. So what we gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? Because we not gonna get nothing out of crying over the spilled milk. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of listening to something yesterday, on audiobook, and it's about, I forgot what the name of the book is, like people skills or something. But sympathizing and empathizing play a huge role in connecting with people, like validating people,
and let them know what the difference is.
Lord Jesus, I know he was gonna do that. So empathizing is more so getting to a level to where you can feel what they feel, like you're identifying with how they feel, like you're sharing the experience with them. It's like, you lost somebody, I lost somebody, I know what that feel like. Or even if I have an experience, I'm getting to that level to where, like, damn, I can only imagine, like, I'm getting down there with them. Sympathizing is just kind of like feeling sorry for them. I'm here for you. Like, I may not be able to get on that level with you, but I'm here for you. I'm in your presence. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Sympathizing, you can't really identify with what they going through, but you kind of there for them. So and they just talked about that yesterday too, so that's why I was ready.
You were ready.
So yeah, man, that's a huge part. So something that to the like similarly, like a similar situation with me, is I do something similar. I do something similar where I can be very, very nonchalant when it comes to situations, and I'm more on the solution side. Like Cole, I see that it happened. It's over with. What we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with it? And that poses an issue, like, in relationships, especially in your, like, primary relationship with your partner. I think that's something that I kind of, like, deprived of on a couple occasions, because I just didn't know how to be there for her in that way. And sometimes just me being there around was the best way I knew how to be there for her, but not really knowing, because kind of like what we talking about now, having that armor on. I can't. All right, so check this out. Imagine if you like a gladiator and you got all your pads and your vest on and your shoulder pads and all that, and then you go in and you try to give somebody a hug that's just dressed like me or you. You can't get that physical skin to skin connection. It's armor there. It's like you don't get that. You don't get to embrace their person. You don't get to feel the warmth of their skin and really feel that energy and let that energy flow. And so sometimes I found myself trying to be there for her with my armor on, and we couldn't have that exchange of energy. I couldn't give her that energy that she needed. at times, you know, for different situations. And so, you know, the having the armor on, and we're gonna talk about this too. It's kind of like a two-way street. You know, it's like it don't just, you know, affect you, but it also affect other people too when you all covered up and armored up and stuff like that too. So that was a situation where, you know, or an example rather.
Yeah, man, and you know, one of my things that I'm going through now is like now that I'm coming down from the facade, everybody is still used to the facade. And so when I'm absorbing my rooms, now they just flying past it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just like, hey, oh, you cool? Like my girl, like she be, like, like when she give me like advice and stuff, it'd be like quotes. Like she'd be like, oh, you strong? Like you, boom, you could make it happen, and you got it. Like you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like you up there. And I'm like, damn, but I'm just gonna chill out for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? Like and like it's not benefiting me right now because I'm feeling like it's not what I need at the moment.
It's not what you need. Cause
You know what I'm saying?
what she trying to do is she like you put on the front for so long, she trying to feed the front. She trying to feed the facade.
Right,
yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and you know, and so now I can't get mad. I can't get upset because that's what we'll do. Like we'll be like, oh man, people not there for me. I'm feeling alone.
They
and
don't
I
understand
went,
me.
right. And I went through that, and I had to realize, that I put on the Superman front. So all she gonna come and do is hand me my cake. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you need here's the phone booth. You know what I'm saying? Like not here's a chair. Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation. Let's work through your emotions. You know, because I'm human. I'm not Superman.
I ain't gonna lie though, Cole.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that's learned behavior. That's learning how to adapt. That's after she adapted to that dude. That's after she adapted to the Superman front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what about the times when, you know, one of like your partner, even mine, like what's going on? How your mental doing? Like what's going on with you? You good? You need? And what would we say? You know what I'm saying? I'm good, man. I'm good. We did that and third. I'm good. Now just whatever. Like we play it down. We water it down. And after a while of like always coming to you asking, well, fuck, he don't feel nothing. He don't go through nothing. He don't. And then, you know, now it's like when we breaking down because we tired, it's like, dog, well, I need that person. I need that person, you know, from 7 months ago who was asking me and checking up on my well-being.
Right.
But because I need that person today because this shit, it's heavy now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, I'm tired now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And to be honest, I'm gonna be completely real with you, bro. It always have been like that. There was no time where I didn't need the other side. But what I would do was I would have it. I would shut down and then come back like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
In that moment when I shut down, I'm like, I'm good and I don't want to speak. I don't want to talk. Was the time where I should have been speaking and talking the most. You know, so the cycle was there. Now I realized what the cycle was, and now I wanna change it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I want to remove the barrier of receiving support. You know what I'm saying? Like I got that closed off. Like my light that said I want support is off. You know, like I don't even have it. Like I don't like people look at me like I don't even need it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that translated to, you know, because I got a whole lot of stuff I did in my life, and I feel like I didn't have support for it. You know, and maybe that was because I felt like I always displayed like I always had stuff together. Like they're like, oh, he good. You know, like subconsciously they're like, I don't need to give him support because he already got it.
Yeah. And I mean, if I can be a little bit transparent, you know, me and you kind of had a conversation the other day, almost a week ago, about kind of something similar. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, you know, you feel like at times that, say for instance, just giving you a call to just be like, you know what I'm saying? Well, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? When you see something off, hit me up, check and see what's going on. Because you see that the signs, you see something off, you see the communication ain't been there per se. And I guess in a sense it's kind of like what we doing with that. You know, it's when you appear to kind of have it all together, kind of like what you just said. You know, when you appear to always have it all together, it's like it don't give folk an incentive um to want to check up. I mean, you know,
Right.
the reality of it is where there's smoke, there's a fire. That's a phrase. Where there's smoke, there's a fire. And man, we be trying to like cover the smoke up, dog. Like we be trying to contain the smoke. We try to put a lid on it, keep it in the bottle, instead of letting the smoke just ventilate. You know what I'm saying? And then when it do, it be an explosion or it be a meltdown. You know what I'm saying? To where it's just like one get overwhelmed. You know, now I'm doing this more than I should. You know, I'm playing the game more than I should. I'm drinking more than I should. I'm stepping out of my relationship, or I'm doing different things. And this is not for me, y'all. This is just like some of the things that people do. You know what I'm saying? It kind of trickle into.
Oh,
Sometimes I feel like in relationships, you know, they say like people like step out, they cheat and stuff like that because of what they not getting in a relationship. You know, that support of the girlfriend always nagging or whatever. But, you know, what are you showing her your capacity is? You know, if we always showing up strong, you know, she might feel like, you know, I can nag or I can do this, I can complain about this because he always, you know what I'm saying, he good, he just take it, he listen, he hear, he quiet, he fix it, he do it. So that kind of feed the nag. But if you can open up and be like, yo, like, I get what you're saying, you know what I'm saying, I hear you, I just need a minute, I got a lot going on right now, I need to just come to, because if you see somebody hurt, you're not going, if you see somebody down, you're not going to really kick them while they down. They got people like that, but I reckon that could make a big difference, even in, you know, what you're experiencing in a relationship. And I can only imagine how many times because of the suit, because of the armor that one hold, that relate to them doing things outside of the relationship because they don't know how to get it. They don't know how to unlock it in their relationship. So they'll go find an emotional support person outside of the relationship or different things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, listen. Sometimes it be as simple as like just saying what you need.
Yeah.
Like I feel like like I'm so strong to where I'm like, and it's so stupid, bro. It is, though. It's like I'm needing something. I know I'm needing something, but I'm like, I ain't gonna ask because I'm gonna feel like I'm weak. But you also feel weak. You also look weak and look like a coward if you go ahead on and go and try to get it somewhere else and step in disrespecting what you already got when you could have got it where you was at. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't never even asked for it.
Facts.
You know, and you feel like it goes into a whole bunch of different thoughts, like maybe I didn't have to ask for it, or you know what I'm saying, or she should have known. Like none of that trumps you should have like you being able to express yourself and saying it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, you know, to give our men of this time some understanding. You know, that's how it was. Like, that's the culture. Like, my daddy was like that. Like, I didn't know what he was going on until he exploded. You know what I'm saying? Until he was aggravated and he didn't want to be bothered. Like, that was my example. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't, like, that's how I played it. I'm like, okay, cool. Sometimes he have his ways because he going through his stuff. So subconsciously, I got my ways because I'm going through my go-through. Like, you don't have like before, like make your ways be, hey, let me sit down and talk about this. Like let that be your ways, because every time I sit there and I talk about it and I let it go, I be good after that. So that means that's the solution. All I had to do is, you know what I'm saying, all I had to do is say something about it, right? And that goes into a lot of different areas of your life, man. Like even at your job, like a lot of times we'll sit there and be, you know, we'll sit there and be like, you know, I come here and I go to work, and my work is separate from my personal, and how I'm feeling is separate from what I gotta do when I come here. Like we got the saying, don't bring your problems at home to work.
And don't bring your work home. Yeah.
Oh, and don't bring my work home, right? But that, like, I can't. There's no two me's. There's only one me. So if I go there and be honest, like, hey guys, I'm not feeling well today. Just to give you guys a heads up, you know what I'm saying? whatever, right? Now, that don't mean that I'm gonna use that as an excuse to purposefully, you know what I'm saying, throw my day away. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna see that. They gonna be like, hey, Cole, I'm not like you a little like Cole not as excited as he usually be. Like I'm not gonna have him guessing. Hey,
Yeah.
you know, today I'm at like a, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm at like a 7 today. I'm not a 10. Today I'm at a 6. You know, or today I'm at a 5. Hey, do you mind taking this over for me today? I'll take over this whole thing in the back. I'm too full to interact with customers or something like, because that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
if you got a business, bro, like I used to look down on people that'll go on Instagram and be like, hey y'all, like I'm full. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like today I'm gonna take a mental health day and I'm gonna close today, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, man, shit, I wanted some chicken today, man. And they blowing it, right? You know?
How you gonna have a business and then you talking about something They ain't got shit to do with that. That's wrong with black people now.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that is real, and I completely understand. And sometimes you have to have the experience to understand. But you know, these people are human. Like everybody is human. You know what I'm saying? So when you have interactions with people, like definitely have the interaction with yourself first, but like open it up. You'll be surprised how many people are dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like treat them as if they're human.
Man, listen, Cole, I love that example you said. Like, for instance, you go to work and be like, yo, I'm in a 5 today. I'm not really where I need to be to really communicate with the customers today. So I'll take care of the back if you could just kind of hold me down on that front end. I think that was beautiful. I think that's a practical tip. That's a practical step. Yeah. You know, and just opening up and like, hey, what's going on, fellas, man? Like, I just want to let y'all know, you know, I don't want, you know, bring nobody down and nothing like that. And before y'all even peep something wrong, man, I got some shit on my mind today. I'm just not me today. I'm just not really feeling it today. Just want to give y'all a heads up. Man, dude might walk down to the strip and get you a cup of coffee, come back with you a cup of coffee and a donut or something. Right. Just to, you know, just for you, like, open up that door of vulnerability so that people can help. Give people a chance. Give them an opportunity to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? And
instead of closing the door, then be mad because nobody came and knocked and opened the door.
And that's the craziest thing ever. It's like you close the door, but you got the door closed because you really want somebody to knock on the door. But if the door closed, that means y'all closed for business. You're closed for business. You're not even open. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the close sign on, ain't nobody gonna come knock on the door because I can see it from the street. I'm gonna just keep driving by. I'm not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? But really, man, people be suffering in silence. And I ain't gonna lie, man. I think with the armor on, and when you put that shield over your face, that face mask, a lot of folks be crying and suffering in silence up in there under them masks, you know, up under them helmets. And you ain't gotta literally be crying, but emotionally, you just tore up. You know what I'm saying? You just tired, you drained. And realistically, self-accountability, a lot of it is self-conflicted, or self-inflicted. And so you was talking about damn, I had it, yo. I don't know. I lost it. I'm gonna loop it back. It was right before you switched over to the work thing. You know what I'm saying? To the workspace. But anyway, yeah, I think it's super duper important. That you just learn to open that door up so that people can help you, man. So that people can see what you're going through. And if you're fortunate, like, well, I don't really have too many coworkers. I have one coworker or whatever the case is, and I can run it with if need be. Cool, you got like a brotherhood with your, you know, you're fortunate enough to be in an environment with like dudes who you be with on a daily basis. Y'all like got like a brotherhood up in there. Like y'all cool. Y'all got y'all own language. Y'all talk. Y'all make y'all do what y'all do up in there. Y'all got a whole environment up in there that y'all do. And so, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't necessarily have that, dude. Some people hate their job and they hate their boss. They hate their coworkers. So you don't have that. And that's another reason, another example of some people, you know, you already got the armor on. It's like you ready for war everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to express yourself at home. You got to be the strong one at home. You go to work. You don't like nobody at your job or your job. And now you at work. You got your armor on there. You on defense. So you just isolating yourself. So what do you do in a situation like that? Like, what do you do when everywhere you go it's kind of like you so shut in? When and where do you release?
I think that once we disconnect being vulnerable from who we are, then the world will start to light up a pathway for where we actually supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And how people are supposed to treat us. Like, I am somebody who needs downtime. I am somebody who needs therapy. I am somebody who like when they say, like, I'm listening to ET, he like stop reading the Bible because you won't know it. Like, you're not coming to read the Bible to resonate with something that you already know.
Yeah.
Like, you going there to be taught something. Like, you going there like, hey, I'm broken, I need something. Like, once you take that and put that inside of your character, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna lose jobs because people ain't like, because you said you needed a day off of PTO and they tried to call you in and you don't resonate with them and y'all get into it and you wind up either getting fired or you leaving, right? You're gonna lose people because they're not like you, they're not as attentive to you as you are to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna, like, the world will start to adapt to you per se. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the person who could show up every time. Like the only thing that remains consistent, what, is change, right? And the other thing above that remains consistent is God and his principles. You know what I'm saying? So once I know that I'm going to be somebody who changed in time and I'm changed based on how I'm feeling, right? And like I'm following the principles. I know that I'm gonna. I know that once those things are consistent. Okay, so I really mean once those things are not consistent, then I know that I got an issue. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I think that's the big problem. Like, we start to change stuff or like push away things that should be there in the first place, which is the fact that we human. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we need to be sharing our feelings and stuff like that, right? So you got people around you, and they not talking to that. They're not on the same level as God and that change. And, you know, ultimately, you know, of course, that comes to those people. Either they're gonna learn and adapt to you, and you know, also they're gonna have like okay, they either gonna learn and adapt to you, which means that you done impacted their life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that means that you done impacted their life. That means that you was an example. Like, they looked at you like the hard person, and you're like, man, wow, coach somebody who always had together, and he opened up. That's big. And you can sometimes make an impact in your environment, whether that be your job, it could be an employee. You made an impact to the manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, it is that is a non-negotiable. Us being able to express ourselves and be human is a non-negotiable. If your job is telling you to not be human,
that ain't the place for you.
It's not the place for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you need a job, but there's plenty of jobs out there for you. God got a job for you.
That's the truth.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, embrace the authenticity of yourself.
Yeah.
And be that everywhere. If immediately, like, and I'm gonna be real with you, if you was that person, immediately as soon as you start being your authentic self, you're gonna have some pushback everywhere, probably. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have it all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something cool.
Yeah.
Cause we kind of like reaching the end of this thing.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to happen is for us to sit down here and have this conversation, and not practice what we preach.
Right.
So that was something that I didn't mention earlier. That kind of, and that ends up happening with me. I'm not sure about for you per se, but for me, that ends up happening. You know, where I'm in a situation and my practice gets, and this is my practice, right? My practice gets thrown up in my face or in the heat of conflict or whatever the case is, where it's like, you know, you're not practicing what you preach. You know, you and Co sit up there, y'all talk about, you know, this, that, and the third, but are you really doing what you what you say you do? Are you really living what you say you what you talk about? And I just want to make this extremely clear. I know I reiterated this before on a previous episode. It was a long time ago. This might have was on Instagram. We not on here to fake the funk and put on a facade. We trying to figure out our way like everybody else. And then also too, we're just brave enough to come on here and be vulnerable. Realistically, sometimes we talk like we talking to a mass audience, but it's really just me and Cole sitting out here having a conversation and opening up and expressing to each other what's going on. And I don't want to make no mistake about it. We are on a quest to become the best versions of ourselves. And sometimes, like for me, I'm gonna have days where I choose the low road. I'm gonna have days where I have a misstep. I'm gonna have days where I make a mistake. And it's not gonna be. I could have talked about this already on a podcast, but in that moment, I wasn't conscious enough or self-aware enough to know that okay, it's getting to a point in time where I just need to detach myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's already in the thick of the moment. And so, I am not perfect. I'm human, just like everybody else. But I am on a road to becoming the best version of myself. And I may never be perfect, but perfection is the goal. Perfection is what's pulling me forward. And I understand that I may never be perfect. I will never be perfect. I'm human. Humans aren't perfect, but just running after the goal of perfection, you're just gonna naturally get better. And that's essentially what I'm saying. So, but
yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, good.
Oh, if you have a remark, I'm just part of my clothes.
But for sure. Like I want to say, like perfection to me is the consistency. As long as I continue to try to be the best version of myself, then I'm gonna it's a reason why it's called the road to being the best version of ourselves. Like what I'm saying, like I'm not where I want. Like we not there right now. You know what I'm saying? But we making progress and we human, and you can go back and look at the other episodes and see we ain't had it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you might see a couple episodes down the line we don't got it together. And this and what we did though, and what I always applaud ourselves on, is that we are doing it unapologetically. You know what I'm saying? Like we out here and we making it happen when we could be hiding. You know what I'm saying? But the biggest thing is that we out here and we doing this thing, whether it look right, whether even it is right. You know what I'm saying? But I know that we gonna make it happen regardless. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so that's big, man. That's a big declaration. And I'm glad to be doing it with you. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Same here. So to leave on this note right here, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing. 2 things that I'm gonna do in the pursuit of removing my armor, releasing the armor is I'm going to work on being more aware of myself and when it is a good time to remove the armor, open up, communicate with my environment, and in an attempt to not be consumed or overwhelmed by my responsibilities and duties. That's something that I'm going to practice. Being more transparent, being more expressive, getting that thought out of my head that it's weak to be vulnerable. I mean, I hear all the time on social media that a man, nowadays, just like as a man, you can't express to your lady or to your wife when you hurting and when you in a bad spot, or if you're having financial issues or whatever the case is, that make you look weak, because that create a breach in her stability under your protection, under your leadership. And I can see how that can be a thing, but I think if you have the right partner, that shouldn't matter. I think if you have the right partner, if one of the legs on your table break, she should be able to be that leg. And I know I for sure have that. So that's something that I'm gonna work on doing. Because if I'm breaking down, I can't show up for her or for the family or for me. I can't work effectively. And another thing is, I think that's probably almost 2 in 1. That's damn near 2 in 1.
Yeah,
but that's
for
something
sure,
that I'm gonna take away from here that I'm gonna work on. You know, being is just learning when and how to be more vulnerable and more expressive and removing that armor. What about yourself, Cole?
Man, and mine is very similar. I'm going to like when people ask, I'm gonna in the pursuit of actually knowing how I feel, I'm gonna be overly. Probably in the next couple of days, I'm gonna be a bit more honest than I usually am when people ask me how I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say I'm good. I want to say that I'm progressing, or I had a rough start to the morning, but you know, I had my coffee, and so, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be honest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to do that, and I want to be more consistent in my self-reflection, man. So, you know, a lot of things, like you think you know yourself just because you're with yourself. But that's the same thing as being with somebody and not knowing them if you're not spending intentional time with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's spending intentional time with myself and being honest about how I'm feeling at the moment and where I am mentally. It's going to be my things that I focus on this week.
Yeah, and to add to what you just said, I was thinking about this song I heard. It was a cover, and in the song, my man said, "What I've learned from a mirror: you look too long, and you'll find yourself a stranger." So to go with what you say, you think you know yourself. You know what I'm saying, because you're with yourself, but you know there's always more to you than you realize. Because you know I believe we are multi-dimensional beings. So. It's a lot to you, so you know, open yourself up, man. But on that note, we just want to thank y'all for being a part of this conversation, this extraordinarily high level conversation, where we kind of put our emotions on the side, not on the side but on the front line, our mental. I love this conversation. It was a real dope, deep, needed conversation, and honestly I feel like I got a weight off of my shoulder because of this conversation, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, thank y'all for being with us through this moment. I hope that this conversation was able to, you know, bring awareness to self for you, and that it was able to open your thoughts up, open your mind up, open your heart up. Thank y'all for being the best part of Free Will Podcast on behalf of me and Mr. Cole. We are in the building. You already know what it is, so you ain't got to ask what it was. You can catch us here next Friday, 8:30 Central Time on the Free Will Podcast. Don't just me is there though. Beat us there. We gonna see y'all next week on the Free Will Podcast. Peace out.
Let's get it.
It is.